Hello and welcome to a brief history of Supercars in Real Racing 3. I get asked about these now and again because you can no longer get these cars. So if you weren't playing back when they were out, there's just nothing you can do. That makes people curious about them. So here are my race settings. All my assists are off. I'm using tilt B controls, the steering sensitivity on 2. People want to know, what are these cars like? If you own these cars, you probably never drive them, and you know why. But for people who haven't owned them, they're missing out, and they want to know what this is like. So I'm doing a race for you. We're going to do one lap in chase view, and then I'm going to do one full lap in driver view, which if you've been on my channel before, you know that I don't use very much. And then we'll do another one in chase view. We're not doing the full race because that would be very long. I was going to take a 3 wide, and I thought, I want to do this right. And then I noticed, hey, the door opened. Let's take that. So that's awesome, getting 2 in one corner. Now, we're going to cover a few different things in this video. Firstly, we are racing today at Mount Panorama, which is very fitting because the Bathurst 1000 is a famous race for these cars. It's a 1,000-kilometer race held in Bathurst, a city in New South Wales, Australia. As you might have noticed, I'm trying to keep my racing legal, so there's a little bit of bumping going on, but I'm not smashing people out of my way. I'm trying to do this proper. These are somewhat difficult cars to handle for one specific reason, and that is brakes. You got to get on the brakes so stinking early in these cars. It's the worst brakes in the entire game. And that's why I'm pretty sure people don't really drive these cars. Speaking of driving these cars, what am I driving right now? Well, this is the 2018 Ford Falcon. Mine is not fully upgraded, so I'm going to bring up the specs for my 2016 Nissan Altima that is fully upgraded. And just take a look at the specs. Like, the grip looks low, but it's actually not bad. It's pretty balanced. The brakes are what make you cringe more than anything else. Now, like I said, we're going to get to the driver view right away, and let's just see if I can keep gaining positions here, because I'm in 4th place now. I should be able to take 3rd place right here. Okay, let's switch to driver view, and oops! Oh, well, I should have been paying closer attention. So I am racing at a bit of a deficit. Some of my friends are extremely good drivers. Actually, a lot of them are, and I'm not fully upgraded, so I'm probably facing some fully upgraded cars here. Now, you're going to see me kind of blow some corners here because I just don't use this view that often. But check it out. It's really cool to see how he shifts. And like that quick little pull there, that's really cool to watch. So Supercars arrived back in update 4.6 of 2016. The first iteration in 2016 was quite exciting with a special event that you ran twice. Once for the Holden and once for the Ford. The Altima was acquired through the famous or infamous Gauntlet style events, with this particular one being in Season 9. Now, the Gauntlet events are something that people also ask about. They were the most hated events in Real Racing 3. You could fully upgrade and easily not complete the events. And so people have asked me about them. In some ways, they're not really all that different than current special events, but there was a ticket system, so you needed to acquire tickets to enter races. There were multiple boss levels to pass, which made some races incredibly difficult. In fact, some of the hardest races ever in the game. One particular gauntlet stands out to me, and that is for Season 1 for the Aston Martin Falcon. There was a race at Porsche Short Track that was only 2 laps long, pretty much a full field, at least 16 cars anyway. You couldn't go off track, you couldn't skid, you couldn't touch any barriers or any other cars. Literally nothing. And touching happens in real racing, which made it super challenging to get your way around that track. It took me 3 hours to finish that one race. Yikes. So, we gotta get out of this view. I gotta catch up with these guys now. Okay, so 2017. Unfortunately, things got a little more boring and also annoying in my opinion. There were 2 limited series, so you buy your upgrades, you run a whole bunch of races, and you get the car. But you had to buy the Nissan Altima. There was no way to earn it. For the 2018 series, it was less annoying, but definitely just as boring. 3 limited series, so you buy your forced upgrades, run a bunch of races, and there you go. Now, originally, there were multiple regular series for these cars. However, that all changed in 2019 when Supercars became no longer available. What happened? Well, the license expired, and so they couldn't allow people to keep acquiring these cars. If you have them, you can drive them. If you don't have them, there's nothing you can do to get them. And honestly, you're not missing much. If I had to choose, I would actually choose probably NASCAR over this. They're just A little bit better handling, still not great on the brakes, although these do have better grip. You know, I've never really thought about comparing NASCAR to supercars. So, I believe that supercars are much more meant for road courses, although NASCAR has been really changing the last couple of years, adding a lot more road courses to the Sprint Cup series. So that's kind of made it more exciting. That changes how you have to set up the car because it can't all be about turning left. By the way, if you think only turning left is easy, we'll bring up the Indy 500, one of the most legendary races in racing. Well, there you go, guys. There's a brief history of supercars in Real Racing 3, and here I am getting first place, nice and clean. We're gonna wrap this race up. After this, I just drive off and start lapping people. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, please subscribe. Here's some other videos you might find interesting, and check out my channel. I've got piles of content. Bye-bye now.